These are the Comic Kings.
Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Gabe P, Comic Kings here.
We are the Comic Kings.
And it's been a little while since our last episode.
I was thinking that. I was like, I feel like we ain't done one of these in a minute.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Yikes.
Time flies by.
Yeah, time does fly by.
The last one we did, we had the Spider-Man trailer.
Yes.
And then something since then that we didn't get to touch on. They casted a new Batman, and I've been itching to talk to you about this. Because the second I saw it, I'm like, yo, Charlamagne's going to have a field day with this shit.
First of all, whenever you cast somebody from any Twilight movie to be Batman, then you already know that DC is just as trash as we think it is. And you know what's so sad about DC? DC has been gaining I'm not saying gaining footing on Marvel because that's just impossible, but it's been getting better reviews with its latest work.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The Wonder Woman, the Aquaman, and Shazam.
Yeah,
and then you go and cast, he's worse than Ben Affleck. That's the worst casting decision than Ben Affleck.
But here's my thing. I agreed with that for the first part of it, right? When it happened, I remember I was out somewhere and I was like, this is a joke. This is completely fake. And then when I saw some more pictures of him kind of like suited up, like in real life, looking like a Bruce Wayne type, I was like, maybe this could work out. Maybe this could maybe I could see Robert Pattinson being Batman. And then I thought about what you said before, how people hated Heath Ledger when he was casted as a Joker. You know?
Well, he bodied it. I mean, listen, I don't know the acting chops that this guy has. I'm just saying that on paper, it looks bad. And I'm going to tell you something else. I don't think they should do any more Batman movies.
Why?
I think the Dark Knight franchise bodied it. The Dark Knight trilogy was so good that you really can't do any more of those movies for like another 30 years.
But here's my thing. Batman is kind of just like a James Bond type of character. There can be like as many Batman movies as you want over the course of our lives, and it could be different actors playing it every single time. And some of them could be bad. Some of them could be really bad, but then some of them could be really good. And maybe this 2021 movie could be really, really good.
I don't see it, man. The first Batman I loved with Michael Keaton.
Amazing.
And I love the Dark Knight trilogy. All the ones in between was pretty whack to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
You know what a lot of people were kind of playing at online is that they were hoping that this movie could be a Batman Beyond movie. You know, with you know Batman Beyond, the young Batman, and have Michael Keaton play old Batman.
That's smart.
You'd be kind of interested in that, right?
That's smart.
I mean, it's not gonna be that. It's supposed to be. They don't even know if it's supposed to be in like the cinematic universe of the DC EU, but I think it's supposed to be. They haven't really confirmed or denied it, but Robert Pattinson is supposedly the front runner to play him, and it hasn't been confirmed by the studio yet. But it's pretty much like. It's essentially a done deal.
What's the guy named from Dark Knight? Christopher
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Do you think that he just doesn't want to play Batman anymore?
Oh no, that's the director.
I mean the director. I'm sorry. Who's played Batman? I forgot his name. God, let me look it up.
Christian Bale. Christian Bale. Yeah.
Yes.
I think the whole point is that Christian Bale is like a really like good method actor, and he's done like all these different roles where he played who'd he play? He played some guy in the government recently that won an award, and he transformed into this fat character, and then there was another movie where he was an anorexic. So I think he just didn't want to be known as Batman for the rest of his life. Like he didn't want to be like he didn't want to be known like I don't know who was a good example. I guess you could say Robert Downey Jr. is forever going to be known as Iron Man. He wanted to be able to be known for more than just the Dark Knight trilogy.
If I was DC, right, I would. I mean, I don't know if it's too late, but I would have reached out to Christian Bale from the beginning and paid him a shitload of money to be in these movies because you basically already told his origin story in Dark Knight. You know what I'm saying? So even though the Dark Knight wasn't necessarily a part of the DC cinematic universe, I guess, you could have still just inserted him, and anybody who had seen those movies before would have gotten it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they dropped the ball with that. Like, I wouldn't have tried to reboot Batman and bring Ben Affleck in. Now you bring in Robert fucking Pattinson. Just get Christian Bale. And when you want him to show up in these Justice League movies, he's there. When you want him to be in Batman versus Superman, he's there.
But you don't think that would confuse, like, regular people? For you and me, it wouldn't be that confusing because we could separate the one movie universe from another movie universe. But for a normal person, going to see a Batman movie who thinks that it's in the same universe as the Justice League, that could be confusing to them.
Just go do your research. Like if that's what I would have done if I was, if I saw these movies and Christian Bale was in them, and I'd be like, oh, they got a whole trilogy about Batman.
Right.
Just Batman. Then you go and watch those movies. You know what I mean? I just feel like we waste too much time retelling all of these different origin stories over and over and over and over again. Like, it's just certain people, man, if we don't know about them, it's too bad on us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I agree, 100%.
Same thing with Superman, same thing with motherfucking Batman. Wonder Woman, I think, would deserve that. Like,
Yes,
you know,
100%.
I wasn't big on Wonder Woman like that.
I could think of myself watching some of the Justice League cartoons from the early 2000s when I was a kid, but even those didn't really do like an amazing job of telling her backstory. So I really had no idea anything about Wonder Woman until I saw the Wonder Woman movie. And you know what else is interesting? Apparently the second person in the running to play Batman is the Beast from the current X-Men movies, Nicholas Hoult. I know they got a really shit list, huh?
I don't mind stuff like that though. Only reason I don't mind stuff like that because we've seen people play subpar characters in movies and then go on subpar superhero characters in some movies, but then go on to be great. Like we saw that with Michael B. Jordan in Fantastic Four, Chris Evans in Fantastic Four. Both of them played the Human Torch. They went on to be Killmonger and Captain America. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. So who would you cast as Batman? If you could pick anybody right now to be Batman besides Robert Pattinson, who would you cast?
I mean, honestly, man, I think with a character like Batman. And
it's hard.
I feel this way with any superhero or well-known character. I feel like when you bring in these stars that people know from certain things, they bring their baggage with them because it's hard to look past Robert Pattinson and see anybody but the kid from Twilight. Yeah. Like even with Mysterio, like Jake Gyllenhaal, I think that's a little bit strange. Like whenever I hear that things, my spider senses go off to be like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. Like even when they say Angelina Jolie is one of the Eternals, like I'm like, do we want that?
I want that. I would like to see that.
I don't feel like that's what Marvel's built on though. I feel like when you think about Marvel, they take guys like Robert Downey Jr. was down and out damn near when he became Tony Stark.
Yeah, you know, been arrested. He was a drug addict.
Yeah, man, like. I just feel like I like seeing things like that.
You like seeing them kind of take smaller people in Hollywood and then bringing them up to be these characters.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing, Marvel already itself, like they already have like A-list actors from the jump in some of these movies. Like I guess you could say like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Small roles though. Gwyneth Paltrow, Pepper Potts, I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
But if Gwyneth Paltrow was freaking Rogue, you'd be like, oh shit.
So you're saying like B-list actors and kind of taking them to be like A-list actors type thing. It's not the other way around. Not taking like the A-list and making them play them in these movies.
Because it's hard to get like you got to understand these characters that they're playing are iconic.
Right.
They're superheroes. Like, I don't want anything getting in the way of that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to look at Batman and be thinking about Twilight.
I think as we like move kind of towards like, further on in like the superhero genre and whatnot, like what they're trying to do now is honestly they're trying to get more Oscars, like Black Panther took home a bunch of Oscars. That's kind of why I think what they're doing for the Eternals, rumored doing for the Eternals and casting people like Angelina Jolie or the guy who played one of the Starks from Game of Thrones or Luke Evans as Hercules or Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things in a role. I think the reason why they're casting people who are kind of like well known to the public, besides of the fact off their popularity, is because they want to win more Oscars. They want to have like a movie with like a bunch of like A-list people who are really good actors that'll win them awards and make them a fuck ton of money.
The crazy thing about Black Panther, though, Black Panther didn't have A-list actors in it. I guess Michael B. Jordan.
You don't consider Chadwick Boseman A-list, even though he
did like 42 now.
Okay,
but prior to that, you just knew him from being the black guy that plays all the black historical figures in movies. And I love Chadwick. You from South Carolina, salute Chadwick Boseman. But he wasn't. I don't think he was considered A-list. I could be wrong. I don't. I'm not the most Hollywood individual.
Well, they did. And like that's going off what you said before. Like Forrest Whitaker and Angela Bassett, they were all in kind of like side roles.
Side roles, just enough to prop up the less familiar faces.
Yeah.
And the thing about everybody that people love from Black Panther, they love Siri. I didn't know who she was before them. And Shuri. I didn't know who Shuri was before her.
And they put her alongside the Avengers probably because of how everybody reacted to her characters.
She was. Word up. So I think that is the direction Marvel should go. But look, I'm gonna give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? You have no choice but to give Batman a shot, right?
Yeah. And they, you know what? Eventually, hopefully, because what's it called? Comic-Con is not too far away, 2 months away. Maybe we'll get like an official image or picture of Robert Pattinson as Batman, and maybe you never know, because like when people first saw the picture of Ben Affleck as Batman, they were like, "Oh shit, that's dope." You know what I'm saying? So
I never thought that.
I know you never thought that.
I thought that.
That
never
I was like,
crossed
that's
my
sick.
mind.
I still don't know why.
I've never forgiven Ben Affleck for Daredevil, bro. Like Ben Affleck should not be matter of fact, Ben Affleck should not be allowed to play any superheroes ever again for the rest of his life. Especially when we've seen it done right. Ben Affleck gave us that whack ass Daredevil, and then Netflix came and
Shout out
did
to
it
Charlie
right.
Cox.
You know what I mean? Charlie Cox perfect name for a porn star. He came and did it right.
Killed that shit. He only got 3 seasons too, unfortunately.
Then we've seen, I think it's going to go to the Disney service.
We're going to get to that. We got some Disney service news. That's kind of cool.
And then I think, like I was saying, Ben Affleck just sucks as a superhero. I mean, we know the good Batmans. We know the whack Batmans. Ben Affleck's one of the whack Batmans.
One of the whack Batmans.
And Robert Pattinson possibly could be, but I'm not going to shit on it yet because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
That's just what I believe.
At first, I couldn't stop laughing, but now I'm kind of like, I'll just kind of let it see how it plays out because you never know. We might, 2 years from now, you and I might be talking about how amazing he is.
Baby, as I'm saying, he had to show somebody something, right? Mm-hmm. Like somebody had to see him audition somewhere and be like, okay, this is the move.
Well, I haven't really seen any of his other movies, but he's been in like other films that are kind of like, I guess more indie type of films. Mm-hmm. He can act. He can like really act. So I think that was kind of like what happened with, I think that's probably why he probably showed them that type of stuff. And then they were like, boom, we're going to cast you. And that was that. So moving on to Disney Plus news. We actually have some pretty cool news for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. So the girl who played Agent 23 and Zemo are currently reported to play those characters in the Disney Plus series. So it looks like we might have Zemo come back as a main villain.
Wow.
How do you feel about that? Or not a main villain, but like at least they're not just kind of throwing him to the side.
The reason that excites me is because it's letting me know that they're really serious about keeping that MCU storyline in the TV series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I think is dope because you can only do 2 and 3 movies a year, and it's probably
only 2 next year too.
Only 2 next year, but this is why Marvel's so dope, man. It's like, yo, you know how many details they're gonna be able to get into in these TV shows?
Yeah, 6 episodes. Just a lot of stuff that they can get into.
It's gonna make the movie so much better because you don't gotta waste no time. It's not like they waste a lot of time anyway, but it's like you could tell all of these smaller stories that's gonna have so much future impact on the Marvel universe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's dope. I think it's dope just for that reason alone. Like, they're letting us know like we are really investing in these TV shows and we're gonna keep this Marvel universe going via TV.
And what's even more interesting about Zemo, so there's this Twitter account, right? And this Twitter account has been tweeting about spoilers for Avengers Endgame since summer of last year, and every spoiler has been correct, right? So he recently tweeted out, and it's like it's like a really sketchy Twitter account. He actually tweeted out some details about the future of Marvel movies, right? And one movie that they're, according to him, that they're reportedly developing is Thunderbolts, and Thunderbolts is obviously Marvel's Suicide Squad. So it's kind of like their villain kind of team and whatnot. And the characters that he said that are going to be involved for it are Zemo from obviously Civil War, Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2, General Ross as Red Hulk.
Wow.
The Abomination. And I don't know if you remember from the first Incredible Hulk movie, at the end of the movie, the guy that was helping them, Mr. Blue.
Yeah, the big head dude.
They showed him kind of transforming into the leader.
His shit started swelling.
Yeah,
the leader, that's the name.
So the leader is supposed to be the main villain of the movie, and they want to turn the film into a trilogy. So they want to basically create, so Marvel's basically wants to have Marvel actually wants to have their own Suicide Squad kind of inside the MCU. And I think it's interesting because kind of how we talked about how like they're kind of keeping the MCU storyline going. They have like all these different characters that everybody kind of thought were thrown away or tossed to the side that they might have brought back in little cameo roles like General Ross. And now they can kind of like give them all their proper, I guess, their due.
Yeah, I read something like that somewhere. Maybe it was on CBR, maybe a video they did, but that would be a dope idea.
That would be dope.
And that, you said it's going to be a TV show or it's going to be a movie?
That's going to be a movie. The Thunderbolts are going to be their version of the Suicide Squad. I think there's a lot of room for that because it's kind of, if you've seen Suicide Squad, which it's not that great, but it still won an Oscar for Best Soundtrack. Suicide Squad, like, there's a lot of potential there, and if there was kind of backstory to all these characters, like, and that's, the thing that people complain about most with DC movies, it could have been dope. You know what I'm saying? If we actually have more backstory and more kind of seen them in other movies, but here you kind of have like all these characters that everybody are like, oh, they threw Justin Hammer in jail, or Abomination has just been hiding in a prison for the past 11 years, but now it gives them something to do again.
Yeah, it's wild to me why people act like Hulk solo movies don't do well. I mean, I know they don't do well, but Hulk is such a popular character. And I just think that a lot like we're talking now when you talk about casting, I just think that they were casting, Bruce Banner wrong.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the CGI Hulk from the first one was whack. But the second one...
Oh, the one from, like, 2003, right?
Yeah, but the second one with Abomination was actually dope. You know, it was a hell of an Easter egg in the one from 2003, though.
What?
Captain America Frozen in Ice.
That was from 08. That was in the one from 08.
You sure?
Because it's a deleted scene where Hulk tries where he tries to kill himself. He tries to remember how he talks about in Avengers. He's like, I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out. That was that scene. It was actually a deleted scene from The Incredible Hulk in 2009.
wait a minute.
Or
Now.
2008, 2009. I forgot exactly what year it came out.
Hold on. So in the new one, hold on. Explain that to me again.
So in the new one, there's a deleted scene, right, where it shows Bruce Banner going to Antarctica, blah 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 blah, whatever, and he puts a gun. He puts a gun in his mouth. He pulls the trigger, and then it shows. Well, you only see the Hulk's hand getting big, but you see the bullet fall out of the mouth. Hulk, and then his hand has it, and then like I guess Hulk yells or whatever, creates an avalanche, and you see like really quickly. It's really hard to tell, but you see Captain America's shield in the ice.
So it was 03. It was supposed to be in the 03 movie.
Okay.
No, I'm asking.
No, it's in the 08 movie. This was from the 08 movie. This is the one with where he fights Abomination. This is supposed to be at the beginning of. This is supposed to be at the beginning of the movie.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right, I remember now.
So this movie will give like all those characters like something new to do, and I think with the introduction of Ghost and Ant-Man and the Wasp and how kind of like they left her character at the end kind of ambiguous to what was going to happen as she like ran away with like Lawrence Fishburne or whatnot. I think it'd be interesting because now you kind of set that up. You have like a bunch of different places for these villains to go, and maybe this will make Marvel stop killing all the villains in every movie.
Nah, you're right. I mean, even though Killmonger will be back. Killmonger got resurrected.
Yeah,
he got resurrected so many times in the goddamn comics.
I don't think he'll be back in the movie. I think it'll be more like they go to like the astral plane again, and you just kind of see all the Panthers and then like a Jaguar or something like that.
Well, you know, in Wakanda they have the I think it's called the Resurrection Altar.
Really? I didn't know about this.
Yeah. So in the comic books, Killmonger's been dead before. Like Killmonger's been dead before, then he's been resurrected.
So you think he's gonna come back in the second movie?
They got to eventually. I mean, Michael B. Jordan's too big of a star. I'm not saying he'll come back in the second movie. But you never know.
I mean, I heard he negotiated to come back for the second movie in some capacity. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure if anything, it'll be like a flashback.
Yeah. Yeah. What else we got?
All right. So from that account, also we got some Guardians of the Galaxy news. So this is a little kind of more confusing because I'm not as fluent in Guardians of the Galaxy as I am in everything else. But they basically gave some insight onto what the next movie is going to be like. So one of the things is Rocket Raccoon's creator is going to be revealed, and it's going to be the High Evolutionary, who is a geneticist from the 1930s who became obsessed with further evolution experiments, et cetera, and he just started experimenting on a bunch of different things, and Rocket Raccoon was the result of that. And I also heard that he's going to be the same guy who creates Beta Ray Bill. So that's another rumor I read online.
You know, I don't know if I read that online, but you know that makes perfect sense because they had a Beta Ray Bill statue in one of the Thors.
Sakaar in Thor 3.
Yeah,
they had like his head on like the Mountain of Champions or whatever.
Yes. So I mean, he's got to exist at some. He's in the universe, you know that.
Yeah. And then another rumor is that Drax's daughter actually did not die, and she is actually his daughter's name is Moondragon, and she's like a telekinetic and a telepath, and she's gonna appear in this movie too and be part of the Guardians like post this movie also. And I think the last rumor is Rocket's gonna get a love interest, and Adam Warlock is, by the end of the new Guardians movie, Adam Warlock is going to be leading the new Guardians of the Galaxy with, I believe, Groot, Nebula, Moondragon, and I think that's it.
So Warlock will definitely get introduced in 3.
Will definitely get introduced in 3, and then we'll see like Drax's daughter. Rocket will get a love interest. You'll find like, I just feel like sometimes I think that there's too much happening with the Guardians movies. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I think they try to do too much and they try to do too many storylines because it's like a cosmic thing. But what do you think of this Guardians 3 kind of news? I'm not too familiar with most of these characters, but it sounds kind of cool.
It sounds cool, but then it does sound like a lot because think about what else they're going to be doing. They got to figure out Gamora.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because is Gamora dead or is this a...
Well, Gamora, one of the other parts of this was Gamora is alive, but it's Gamora from 2014.
Yes. So
she kind of, apparently she bonds with Peter and like they become like better friends over the course of the movie.
And what about Thor?
Thor, I heard he's gonna, when he meets Beta Ray Bill, they're gonna get along well, and by the end of the movie, Beta Ray Bill and Thor are gonna go on Thor's gonna go on another adventure, and he's just gonna go off with Beta Ray Bill.
Really?
Yeah. All this is unconfirmed. These are different rumors from online, but I feel like some of them kind of line up with how they wanted to do like Beta Ray Bill in the future and all those type of characters.
And I've been hearing about Warlock, Adam Warlock, but I've also been hearing about Nova.
Oh, okay. So here's Nova. I got another one for Nova. So Nova, the writers for Infinity War actually revealed
I read
that Bruce Banner's role was supposed to go to Nova,
yeah.
Since they destroyed, since he had the Power Stone at the beginning of the movie, and the Power Stone was on Xandar.
Yep.
So the whole point of it was that Xandar was already destroyed, and Nova was going to be shot from Xandar to Earth, land in Doctor Strange's thing, and say Thanos is coming, and that was going to be. and that was how they were going to introduce Nova. But they didn't want to do it that way because they wanted to give the character more background.
Yeah, I like that too. Like, only because that would have been so...
I like that it was Banner.
Yeah, it'd have been so left field. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Now, if you're a comic book head, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's Nova.
Like, you and I in the theater would have been like,
oh, shit.
This is fucking dope. Like, Nova, like, Captain Marvel is coming.
And it makes perfect sense because you don't even have to, you can go back to his story, meaning that Thanos is on there, he's trying to get the Power Stone, Nova Corps is fighting, boom, 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 and boom, who is this guy? But why would all of them trust him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There isn't any like them meeting each other or anything like that for them to kind of be like, oh, this is great. Like, you know, we're all friends now. You know, they would be, who's Thanos? Who are you? And then that would require too much like more backstory for Nova and all that.
Absolutely.
So before we wrap this up, in 2 weeks, we got, by the time we do our next episode, Dark Phoenix will be out. I don't know if you saw, but they released some kind of like new Dark Phoenix stuff, kind of like recapping the past 10 years of X-Men movies, and they kind of did like an Endgame thing where it's like, oh, here are all our past movies and whatnot. So I just want, before we sign off, I just want to know what you would like to see or what you would expect from Dark Phoenix. I know it's not a lot, but
I'm gonna be honest
try
with you. And I don't, and this is crazy coming from a guy who's got Wolverine tatted on his arm. I don't care about the Dark Phoenix, and I'm gonna go see it, but that's almost just out of a loyalty to Marvel and just
X-Men.
a love for the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel has historically and consistently fucked up the X-Men franchise so much.
Mm-hmm. It's like every other movie.
Yeah, and I think that we're just happy seeing something that's decent, but none of them are really good. Like this new series of X-Men films, starting with First Class, have been better.
Yeah.
You know?
Way better than the original.
Way better than the originals, but they haven't been great. And I know a lot of people like Logan. I'm not one of those people. I thought Logan was just cool.
Wow.
I think people were just happy that it was rated R. So for me, I don't have any expectations with Dark Phoenix, and I expect Dark Phoenix to do exactly what the last X-Men movie did when they did the Phoenix. It's going to be the last one we see of this whole shit.
Of course, especially because Marvel bought them now, so it's officially, this is it. This is the end.
Think about that. Like the series before this ended the same exact way.
Yeah.
The last movie was the Rising of the Phoenix or whatever,
and now we're back in the same spot that we were before.
Back in the same spot, and it's like, you know what? Bye. And I mean, it might be decent. I don't know.
And I think they're just running circles with the timeline now, with the Phoenix and everything happening. And now that she's gonna kill, like, spoilers, but it's in the trailer, she's gonna kill Mystique at the beginning. So it's just kind of like, at this point, I'm excited for it because, you know, I'm excited. Like you said, I'm a loyal X-Men fan.
Yeah.
I'm excited that the X-Men are back, and they're, you know, they got a new movie and they have, like, you know, a future in the MCU. But there's nothing in this movie, as far as I've seen so far, that really excites me. It just kind of looks like it's gonna be another X-Men movie. It'll be better than the third one, but it won't be better than any of the others.
It's something to do. And I mean, I hate to say
it's something
it,
to go
man.
to see. Yeah.
I'm if I was any other superhero movie this year except for Spider-Man, and Spider-Man even, I guess, but you know, Spider-Man can get away with it because it's Marvel. Mm-hmm. But bro, Endgame bodied everything, like in a very major way. Like there was no reason for X-Men to be coming out this year, but I guess they just like, fuck it, we got to get our return on investment, throw this shit out there and keep it moving.
Disney's like, let's put it out now so we never have to talk about it again.
Never talk about it again, because after this we're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's such a big budget movie. It's in the can. And no people will come out there and go see it, but they about to scrap that whole franchise and revamp in another 3-4 years and in a great way. You know what I'm saying? I think so. I think they're going to finally get it right.
Yeah, I agree 100%, especially with the snap and everything happening. There's so many easier ways for them to introduce all these people now.
Absolutely. So many different alternate realities. Like, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Easy money.
100%. So hopefully next time we'll be back with an X-Men review. Hopefully you and I will have some good things to say about it.
When is
Homecoming is July. Far from Home is July 3rd.
July 3rd. Okay.
And this one is July 6th. So
gotcha.
X-Men July 6th. Far From Home July 3rd. We got some movies to see in these next coming months. So
I'm there.
Hopefully next time we'll have a review up for it. And yeah.
Absolutely.
Comic King signing off for this week. Gabe P.
Charlamagne the God. Let's go. Peace.